Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Now, either it's on my computer alone or it's something that GETTR did. But I have noticed that they now allow comment editing, which is good. But as you can see, well, you can't really hear it, but I'm trying to click right up here, but I can't reach the other. Well, okay, right here. See, I can't backtrack. Now I have gone to GETTR's profile on this site, and they did. I asked them about that, and they did reply. Although I don't know I don't know the credibility of this site, so I don't know how good that will, how promising that will be. But what I'll do here is I'll try to do my best, since you don't want to answer fucking questions because you're a typical jackass. It's like all the other Christians and conservatives. So I'll see what I can do here, and it's going to take me a while, but, well, let's go. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, your name is ChrisMux.
Here's one. Let me go back to the beginning. Alright, yeah, that's right anyway. Okay, replies. ChrisMux. There's nothing else. Oh, there we go. I would say you're a bot, but ignore. Okay, yeah, so that's when you called me a bot. There's another one, okay. How do you know what really happened then? Here's my questions. How can... Okay, so you're with the, you're talking about 9/11 then. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I mean, what do I have to do? Take a screen cap of everything? Of all my replies? And yours? I mean, what the fuck? I'm glad I'm not making money off of this shit. That would stress. Or that would cause stress. Okay, I think I'm getting closer to the beginning. And worst of all, I can't open it in another tab.
Alright, I'll go with this one. Okay, yeah, I think yeah. Oh yeah, that's right too, because this is a response to Marjorie. Okay. So that would be your first reply to her. Okay. How do you know it was? Where were you on any of the planes? Obviously I wasn't on the planes. Each location was far more questions than answers. Okay, so you say you weren't on the planes. No. Then how the fuck can you know? So what do? You send me another one. This is what I criticized you about the first time. This was my point. This footage aired once after 9/11. Okay, so we haven't forgotten it was an inside job. So that's the context here. So how do you know this source is legitimate? How do you know? I've done research. I mean, maybe all that's garbage just because you don't agree with it. Do you see the fallacy yet? I mean, you can't confirm it yourself because you weren't there. How do you know it was an inside job? How do you know? Rumsfeld announces... Okay, who is Rumsfeld and what credibility does he have? Announces that the Pentagon can't account for the 2 point... What does that have to do with anything? What the fuck? Okay, now, I responded to this one. Okay, were you there? Can you confirm this? You keep referencing to external sources while I've been asking you if you have personal experience. You don't get that yet, do you? Obviously not. I mean, what part of that don't you understand? This is how you know. While you obviously, I mean, you insist that it was an inside job while other people don't agree. But you don't listen. But what credibility do you have? None. Now, I wrote a book about Donald Trump, and 9/11 is one of my, I guess, essays in it, parts, segments. And from what I read, I can't remember exactly what I read because nobody discusses my book, because nobody will buy the fucking thing, because none of you guys have the fucking balls to or the dignity to. So, from what I understand, W received a notice which he ignored, and they didn't do anything. So it was the fucking the Muslims, the extremists. It was not it wasn't an inside job. It was a simple matter of negligence. And I find that the easiest to believe. Now, am I stuck to that? No, because I don't have personal experience. I don't know. I'm simply certain. And should I be taking your word for it? Why? What do you have? Nothing. I don't have anything either. But at least I'm honest, and at least I'm not sticking to a fucking. I'm not ideologically attached to the information I've read and agree with. Do you understand that yet? Probably fucking not. So you send me this after I've asked you, were you on the plane? You said no. So how do you know? You're not answering that question. How do you know? Epistemology isn't my thing, so check this out. You insist that 9/11 was an inside job, meaning the government is responsible. Why do you want it to be an inside job? As you insist that all these videos back your claim up. Here's one easily What the fuck? Why do you... Okay, why you send... Now you're invoking God. Now why do you keep sending me videos after I've asked you how do you know? I'm not asking for videos, I'm asking how you know. This is not knowledge. This is not confirmation of anything, it's a video. Talking to a couple guys who nobody knows. Me being there hasn't nothing to do with it. The testimony of those were there. Well, if you don't know, how the fuck do you know that what they know? How do you know that they're telling the truth? You know nothing. Why are you taking other people's word for everything? I'm not asking you to take my word for anything either. I'm asking, you're the one who insists that it was an inside job. But all you are capable of is sending me videos, saying God bless for some reason, whatever the fuck that even means. Okay, so clicking on this. Did you film this video? God bless what? Would America have suffered this if God blessed anything? Or maybe Allah blessed, however that's pronounced, blessed the terrorists? So you strawman me then by saying, oh, I didn't film this video, therefore it didn't happen. Is that what I'm asking? I clearly did not film it. God, you say it again. God bless you. I mean, what are you trying to get at here? What do you want? What are you trying to achieve with this? That's the second time you said that to me. And why you what does God have to do with anything? Free will is interesting, and yes, God is great. Based on what? What does God have to do with this? Or free will? People aren't always so great. How is God great? How do you know what really happened then? Answer my questions. How can man have free will if we're all born with original sin, meaning we're all born under Satan's influence and God is the only other influence? Another question you don't answer because you're a dickhead. So if I didn't film it, it didn't happen. Now, did I say that? That's a straw man. I'm not saying it didn't happen because you didn't film it. I'm asking how you know. As all you're capable of doing is referring to other videos. You're the one saying or declaring that it's an inside job, and I'm asking you how you know, as you don't have any personal experience. You're the one making the claim. That's the whole point here. And now you're invoking God. Your questioning doesn't make a lot of sense. What have you said that makes sense? You keep ignoring. How does it make sense to send me videos after I've asked you, do you have personal experience on 9/11 about the planes? Do you have personal experience? Can you prove it was an inside job? Wow. Okay, what doesn't make sense about my questioning? I'm not convinced you're an actual person. I don't give a fuck what you think. All you're capable of is God bless and video references. Unproven, nothing. Unverified videos. While you're the one that's saying 9/11 was an inside job, and while you have no experience, personal experience to know any better than anybody else. Possibly a bot, yeah, I'm a bot. That's why I'm talking to you right now. Do I sound like a fucking bot to you? Well, anyway, so original sin, or OS, I mean, you're given free will to do the bidding of Satan and be anti-human. How is God pro-human? And when did I say I'm doing the bidding of Satan? You're saying that. Based on free will, based on Christianity, I would be, because, as I've said before, I can only be under the agency of either Satan or God. And as I said before, if Christianity is true, then we're all born under the influence of Satan, under his agency. But that only means that I can't be me, and that free will can't exist. What part of that don't you understand? And you're saying Satan is anti-human. Well, what is God then? Or be a child of light and go to... Why are you preaching? What does Christianity have to do with 9/11? I could say you're the bot, as you ignore what I say about sin and free will. Okay, so I didn't really say anything. I must have been talking to somebody else. If that's the case, then I apologize. Well, I'll say it right now. Would sin what does Christianity even have to do with anything? But as for sin, would sin be our problem if God either didn't create life or didn't want obedience? And in addition to that, how can heaven be an eternal bliss if sin is only forgiven and not rectified? Which means it's not rectified if it's only forgiven, meaning that heaven is only going to be doomed to become a fallen eternal world, unlike this one. So how can heaven be if sin is only forgiven? And how do we have free will if we are never ourself? I mean, we're born with original sin, right? That means we're born under the devil's agency. And the only other agency that exists is God. We can't be ourself if we're born under the agency. Do you get that yet? Does that compute? So if I didn't film it, it didn't happen. Straw man. No. My point is that unless you prove the legitimacy of the sources you provide, you have nothing. Only if you have personal experience. Yeah. Or can you know for yourself? I mean, you're the one claiming it's an inside job while other people have different opinions. Because I also have a different opinion of that. Based on research, based on reading other sources. So, neither of us know anything, but you're the one sending me all these fucking videos. What do you know? What about that? Do you know? Yeah. Okay, what part of... Okay, so... Yeah, it would help if I could backtrack. As I just pointed out at the beginning of this video. I didn't explain this, and I do apologize for it. It's not entirely my fault, though. Okay, so... If you are not a bot, then I'm... Okay, whatever. I could say you're the bot. Okay. Who determined that you would post this? Who determined that you would post this, or even get a... What? This guy's a nut. Well, you're MAGAs, so I don't really expect anything else from you. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, before I get to that guy. So personal experience is the only thing that will validate. You're the one, again, you're making a claim that it was an inside job, so yes. Are you doing research on it? Have you... Well, it's too late now, 21 years, or whatever, however long it's been after the fact. Yeah, it's a little late. But what groundwork have you done about this? Relying on videos. See, what I did when I researched was I went for what makes the most sense to me, not what I want to be true. And I also didn't say anything about God or religion. Well, obviously the Muslims are Islamic extremists. That's religion there. But that's what I understand about the situation. And I'm not emotionally or factually attached to that, but I will never know because I don't have any personal experience, and nobody can be relied on, especially not people like you, ChrisMux. So again, the countless videos of people on the ground during the incident are not sufficient. How are they sufficient? Why do you approve of that? What if they said something different? What if they were like me and they said, well, this happened because George W. Bush ignored a notice? What would you say then? As well as their testimonies. How do you know? Do you know those people personally? Then how the fuck do you know, Chris? I'm not asking you to take my word for it, but for me, the evidence from the people that experienced it absolutely holds. How? Explain how. Do you know them personally? Even if... Well, based on the fact that you say that you claim it's an inside job and you're going by... You're only referring to these people because they're repeating what you say. They're supporting your claim. That's nothing. That makes them just like... It's nothing. Then you tie in all of the other factors. But it's the media reporting, the official narrative that doesn't make sense. And many other interesting anomalies and one can only draw the conclusion that the official story is weak and erroneous. What are you talking about? Then you tie in all the... What other factors? What are you talking about? be it the media reporting. You're on some sort of tangent here, and I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Like I said, you have a choice. No, we don't. You haven't refuted what I said about free will. And as for choice, why do you agree that we should have a choice? Why do you approve of this premise that we have to make a choice in life because God wants it? Or we suffer the consequence, eternal. Conduct yourself as you see fit. Well, the problem there is you people don't like that. You don't like how people conduct themselves unless they're in accordance to what you believe. All of you Christians. That's the problem there. I don't believe we were born under Satan's... well, explain how it is then. What are we born under if we're all originally sinners from birth? What are we then? Are we ourself? See, right now, you don't agree with me because you believe I'm speaking on behalf of Satan. I can't be speaking on behalf of my actual self because it doesn't exist according to Christianity. That's the problem. Now, bad and good. Can bad exist if God made us all invulnerable and immortal? Answer that.